Hello, everybody, and welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 65th event, I think, in Season 6, and we are having some fun times here. So I'm excited to be here with Sebastian, Tadas, and Rosmari. We're going to play a respect game as we usually do on Thursday, 17 UTC, and I'm going to kick us off with a presentation in case you're not familiar with Optimism Fractal. You can learn about Optimism Fractal at optimismfractal.com. It's a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. At each of our bi-weekly events, we play the Respect game. It provides a perfect place to network, make friends, and collaborate with talented builders in the Superchain. And the Respect game is an innovative on-chain social game where we're pioneering new forms of community coordination, where participants share what they've recently done to contribute to the Superchain, and then collaboratively rank each other's contributions and earn respect, which is a soulbound token that provides growing benefit as our reputation system expands. You can learn more about the events and the games and see how you can get involved on the website, and you can also explore our videos there as well. Videos that you're welcome to watch, share with friends, and also participate in and showcase what you're doing on Optimism. And you're also welcome to explore our tools too. We're building with respect. For example, the Optimystics toolkit is an open source suite of tools for community coordination and decentralized governance, where you can play respect games and make decisions as a group with fractal governance. Optimism Fractal provides an excellent place to develop your on-chain career and business, whether you're new to Web3 or you have teams and businesses and organizations already in Web3. Lots of ways that you can learn and improve the way that you're doing the things that you do by getting involved with Optimism Fractal and learning about our coordination systems, as well as meeting our community members. Encourage you to learn more about respect on the website and see the benefits and feedback we've received, and check out where we're building in public and start contributing by exploring our videos, our repositories, Notion site, etc. And there's a lot of opportunities for funding in the Ethereum ecosystem, as well as the Optimism Collective, such as RetroFunding. Encourage you to look into it, as well as our history and our concepts of fractal democracy. So we have protocol specifications and a rich history where we've been building many community members, fractal governance for several years, and Optimism Fractal has been operating since 2023. You can learn how you can get involved as part of the Optimism Fractal Sages Council or the ORDAO on-chain governance application, as well as our other applications and tools and processes for governance that you can explore on the website. Optimism Fractal is founded and presented by Optimystics, a team of builders creating open source software, organizing events, and developing pro-social games on the Superchain. Learn more at optimystics.io, and it's being supported by Eden Fractal, a community which has been optimizing collective decision-making with these pro-social games and fractal consensus processes for over 3 years now. We are building the Superchain together. The Superchain is an interconnected network of blockchain scaling Ethereum on the OP stack. These networks include OP Mainnet, Base, World, Sonium, Inc., Unichain, Zora, Mode, Redstone, and many others. Learn more at optimism.io and ethereum.org to learn how Optimism and Ethereum are changing the future of the world and the future of the internet. And the best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is to join our weekly events on Thursdays at 17 UTC. We encourage you to join and hope to see you there. Another great way to get started too is by watching our videos to see how it works. So for example, I said that we were on our 64th event. We're actually at our 65th event right now. But we had our 64th event 2 weeks ago, and we met with public goods creators and have been doing gamified building. So here's where you can see all the respect games that we've been playing recently, and great contributions from community members towards the Superchain. Encourage you to check it out and watch the show notes, as well as check out the Optimism Governance Forum, where we have seasonal threads for showcasing what we've done in season 6, as well as our past seasons too. So this is a great way to get in touch and also to follow our progress, as well as joining our Discord and so forth. And of course, you can also find these videos on the Eden Creators YouTube video or YouTube channel as well, where you can find Optimism Fractal as well as Eden Fractal and Optimism Town Hall videos, many different shows related to governance on the Superchain. And you can register for our events at lou.moss/optimistics so you can get email reminders. And that's where you can also find invitations to our other events, such as Eden Fractal, Eden Town Hall, also ORDAO Fractal, when Tadas hosts it as well. Encourage you to invite friends, and we hope to see you there. I'm going to give some quick community news. One, this was announced a couple weeks ago, but I hadn't brought it up here yet, and it's actually starting, I believe, on August 1st is Optimism Season 8. So there's been a number of changes that have been proposed, and there are now some proposals that are officially in Optimism governance that you can explore. Check out the thread from @Optimism and also the blog post at the bottom for more details about the changes coming for Season 8 with the Token House, Citizens House, optimistic approval, and dynamic veto. And also, we recently released the video from Optimism Fractal 64. Check out the Optimystics Twitter account and like and retweet to help spread the word and raise awareness. So there's some great highlights here that were put together by Rosmari, and you can see great things that people have been doing in the community as well in the sidebar. And we've also recently released the Eden Fractal video as well. Well, the Eden Fractal and Eden Town Hall, we've been having several great episodes with Sebastian and many other community members at Eden Fractal. So encourage you to get involved. You can also learn more about Eden Fractal Epoch 2, which recently launched 3 events ago, last month. You can learn more about this on the Optimism Governance Forum, as well as edenfractal.com to get involved with all these events. One quick note too is that we're in our 5th event of the season, and we're now 2 weeks from the beginning of our mid-season break that's planned to start after the 6th event of the season. I'm considering to propose a 2-event mid-season break for Optimism Fractal and a 1-event break for Eden Fractal events, which would allow Eden Fractal to catch up to Optimism Fractal in terms of where it's at in the season. And I'm thinking about trying to schedule an impact concert with Easy Crypto during the break, but just stay tuned, I guess, for more details, and feel free to share any thoughts about the upcoming break in Discord or after the respect game if you have any thoughts you'd like to share. With that, let's go ahead and play the respect game. So we're going to each, we would go into breakout groups if we had more than 6 people, but for now we'll just stick in one breakout group and we will share what we've done to contribute to optimism. Also, Sebastian, as is your first time here, special welcome to you. Thanks for joining once again. And feel free to introduce yourself and just feel free to just share anything that you've contributed or learned about optimism, as well as your contributions to the Fractal ecosystem as well. And for anybody who's watching and not familiar, basically what we're going to do is we're going to each take about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, to share our recent work, what we've done to contribute to the Superchain, as well as who we are and how we're contributing to the ecosystem and so forth, I hope to contribute. And then we're going to evaluate each of those contributions. We're going to specifically share what we did over the past couple of weeks. I'll be a bit flexible. And then we will evaluate each of those contributions and work to reach consensus on who did the most helpful work and the most helpful contributions for optimism and the Superchain over the past couple of weeks. And then the second most helpful and third most helpful and fourth most helpful and so forth. And then if we can reach consensus with 2/3 of the group, then we'll all receive respect, with people who receive higher levels receiving more respect tokens. You can see more details on this page, optimistics.io/respect game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with you all and seeing what you have all been up to. So with that, thanks for watching my presentation, and thanks again for being here. And if any would like to go first and share what they've been up to, then you're very welcome to do so. And the floor is now open. And Tadas, Rosmari, Sebastian, would anybody like to go first?
I can go first. I did a lot of thinking the past week, but I haven't really started to work on any specific project. Yeah, so I was thinking a lot about how people who are new to the whole process might be educated about it, like people who are completely new and who don't even have the context of crypto. So from that on, and also like thinking it through, like from like how a committee could use the fractal process and to vote on externalities, wow, on externalities, sorry. Yeah, so I think like the Eden process can be used by all kinds of groups. There just has to be one use case in the middle. And yeah, I'm thinking about like a mining app that might be good to get people on board. But that's just a concept for now. And I also really like the concept of educating people about it, just as you are doing. And also like providing the Eden Fractal process as a means of, yeah, as a means for committees to use it on voting on their own work, as well as on decision making overall. So yeah. My English is a little bit rusty, but it will get better in the next minutes, I guess. So I haven't really contributed anything I can show off, but I have given a lot of thought to everything that I learned in the past weeks, and yeah, looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Right. Sounds great. Thanks, Sebastian. If there's anything else you want to share, you still have a few minutes more to speak if you'd like. Also, I want to thank you for both joining here at Optimism Fractal for the first time. That's a big contribution to optimism, so much appreciated, as well as your contributions to Eden Fractal. You gave a lot of inspiration for us at the Eden Town Hall last week, and Eden Fractal is now operating. So I appreciate both your participation in this and then thinking about it, and then also sharing your thoughts and inspiring a lot of great discussions as well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I like being here. It's a great inspiration for myself. And I think like the process touches like so many things that are currently happening in the digital world. Like also AI could be something that could be integrated or maybe even be measured by a fractal process. But those are just some thoughts I have right now.
Good. I see Tadas giving the thumbs up. Also nice to see you, Rosmari. And yeah, well, I'm very interested to hear your thoughts as you consider thinking it over, Sebastian. And yeah, I'm looking forward to collaborating with you more as you get more involved with fractals and also the Superchain too. So thanks a lot.
Right. Yeah, the Superchain is also very interesting. But I haven't got into the Superchain in itself yet.
Okay, cool. Well, you've been getting into it a bit at least by joining the Eden Fractal and Optimum Fractal.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Cool. Well, yeah, hopefully you've been enjoying it, and feel free to reach out with questions if you have, if there's things you want to learn with the Superchain. Encourage you to dive in. A lot of really cool stuff going on, both within the Fractal ecosystem and outside too. So,
All right.
Yeah. If there's anything else you want to share, Sebastian, feel free. You still have another minute or so. If not, take the Rosmari
not
shot.
right now, actually. So I would just pass it on now.
Okay, cool. And who would like to pick to go next?
Let's say Tadas.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks for allowing me not to be the first. Had to finish eating. Yeah. So my contributions didn't do a lot.
I think there has to be a trusted partner.
I see Rosmari also finished eating, but earlier. Good job, Rosmari. You should be ranked higher because you finished on time. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't participate in last Optimism Fractal meeting because I was taking a break and traveling a bit, and yeah, these past 2 weeks I've been like I had a lot of other errands to take care of in life, so I wasn't very actively working on stuff fractal related. And what I am working is it's not directly related to optimism or optimism fractal. It's more about ORDAO and ORDAO Office Hours. I'm working to like deprecate the service for ORDAO Office Hours because yeah, it was superseded by ORDAO Fractal, and I'm working to like making sure that all the data, which includes metadata for the respect token and other things, are available as static data, and that it becomes immutable. The respect distribution becomes immutable, and this is something that I think will become relevant for other fractals as well, as they move through different deployments of ORDAOs if they end up doing that. So yeah, it's starting to practice that process. And then in time it hopefully will become automated, more automated. I am also helping Harvesto with his research. In particular, answered. We are currently going back and forth. He's making questions, asking me questions about fractal ecosystem, and I'm answering. He's doing research about fractal consensus processes. And I think it's very useful, very useful research direction if he is able to come through with it. Yeah, what else? Well, other small administrative tasks for fractals, like executing proposals and stuff. Yeah, I think that's all for me. Rosmari, are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. So, these past 2 weeks, I guess I joined the Optimism Fractal last time. So that's, I guess, something. And I welcome Tivo and Sebastian to the Optimism Fractal Discord channel. And I invited people to Optimism Fractals events. And in this message, for example, I did share some conversations we had at the Eden Fractal and the Eden Town Hall events, which happened last week. And I shared that message across a few channels too. And I also followed up with another message about sharing the newest Optimism Fractal episode, as well as key highlights from builders, and inviting to today's event too. I share that across all our community channels, and including X. So if you go to the Optimism Fractals account or my account, you can see them. I made for today's event this image that will be used as a thumbnail. And so these are the messages I did also on X. I edited, yes, I also promoted Eden Fractals event, as I mentioned, that I attended last week. I made this image for it, where we're playing the respect game. It's a whole thread about promoting the respect game, reasons to play, as well as sharing the previous 2 videos from the Town Hall and Eden Fractal, alongside some like updates or discussion points that happen within them, alongside conveying some news and recent highlights within the fractal ecosystem. And I edited those videos that I have shared and have invited people to, and you can find them at the Eden Creators channel. As well as that, I helped to generate timestamps using AI as well, and the descriptions and the titles, which then has helped me some of them to providing feedback. And I also, as many of you know, we have this Optimism Fractal, and also we have an Eden Fractal forum thread in Optimism, so I've shared like those promotions there as well. I responded to the doctor who expressed interest a few months ago, saying that he started a thread asking about tools for DAO and Optimism, and he discovered Optimism Fractal. He's interested to learn more, and it seems like a fantastic initiative. So I responded to him with the next date and the cadence of our events, as well as shared some information about ORDAO, as well as a tools article and some more updates about for example, the Respect Games voting app, Fractalgram web app version that is being built right now, and the Respect game, inviting him to the event and to learn more. I was also responding to a few messages. I was going back and forth with some community members that were joining Eden Fractal previously. So they're all pretty into governance, and they're onboarded, and they're Web3 familiar and super great like builders. And I was going back and forth with them since reaching out to invite them to the Eden Fractal anniversary. And yesterday I responded to a few community members as well as today. And so all of that has been promoting optimism, really, the Superchain, because in each message I have been inviting them to Optimism Fractal as well. And so that's like a nice contribution where I'm trying to have these bridges built between Eden Fractal participants and Optimism Fractal participants and events there. I think that's been like the main thing that I've been doing. I was also organizing some like a document to create guides, but that's still in the process. I just organized the Notion project in this case, with information and tasks and so forth. So yeah, more on that soon, but not a big update on the guides yet. I did went over time by 2 minutes. Sorry.
All good. Thanks, Rosmari, for sharing all your work. Very nice to see.
You're welcome. Would you like to go next?
Yeah, unless somebody else wants to go next. Somebody else?
There's no one else here. That hasn't gone.
I'll go next. Jed was here for a minute, and we got a couple messages from Harvesto and Abraham saying that they couldn't join today. So, yeah, I'll go next. Great hearing your contributions as well, Tadas. And now I will I will share what I did to help optimism over the past couple weeks. You all know me, dancingjoy.com is my name. Not really, that's my website, but you can check it out there. So one of the main things I did this week was, or not this week, but this was like a week and a half ago, I shared the 5th deliverable for the Optimism Fractal Respect Game research mission for democratic fund distribution, in which I made a designed prototype for a gamified user interface. This has an abstract and a table of contents where you can learn. I go into the philosophy of gamification and why it's so important. I learned from successful games like video games and sports and shows, and then I created an overview of what a potential Respect game interface can evolve into, and how the Respect larger metagame could evolve with the character development system and enhanced interface developments, advanced features, and visual design language and progressive enhancement. So this is quite a detailed overview here, with lots of very interesting links and things about the spirit of play and so forth, and then successful games like Fortnite and Civilization and so forth, and then made some images about how we could evolve from Zoom calls into like big arena kind of sporting events and stuff like that eventually with Respect games, and how this can empower the Superchain and Optimism. with some kind of draft pictures as well as lots of text to explain how these kinds of reputation systems can evolve over time with Optimism Fractal and other communities pioneering fractal governance and respect games on the Superchain. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. This is actually my longest deliverable so far, and I think it's quite exciting here. There's also, by the way, like this is very much working to support the Ethereum ecosystem and the philosophy of infinite garden and infinite games, and also has ideas about how it can be also very simple or very gamified, depending on how people want. So you can check out that on the governance forum. Also, I hosted the videos. This is a really beautiful image, by the way, Rosmari. I was admiring it as you were sharing it, so thanks for making that. I hosted EF123, impact measurement as easy as 1, 2, 3. I also thought of that joke after I hosted the event too. And so that was a really good event that we had where people shared their contributions to fractal ecosystem, and a lot of people contributing to optimism there. And then I also hosted the Eden Town Hall. I gave some feedback for Rosmari on this thumbnail. And then the town hall was also very interesting discussion with a lot of people discussing better governance and so forth. And facilitating that event on base, of course, too. So check those out on the Eden Cares YouTube channel. I made some updates. Harvesto had also reached out to me too about the research project, and I think it's great. So one of the things I did was I provided a bunch of resources to him and answered as much as I could. I was also having to deal with some other personal matters over the past weeks, so my time was limited to what I could do in total. But yeah, I did update the Genesis Fractal article, which is like the first fractal that existed in a way. It's not like a very comprehensive article, but now it's like easier to understand and it got cleaned up. And then I've also coordinated a bit with Tadas here and there about a fractal ecosystem plan to grow Optimism Fractal as well as the fractal ecosystem and legal structures and stuff like that. So, and then I also retweeted a bunch of stuff too, mostly stuff that Rosmari did, or also stuff that other community members like Gudasol and Will and Zal had shared, and Zane after we wrapped up the Superchain incubator. I also put this section here too, because like I got a level 3 last time, and I felt like that was lower than I should have gotten, because 3 weeks ago I hosted another Eden Fractal event as well as a 3-year anniversary of it, and then made some updates to the ORDAO article and made the Superchain ORDAO video and pitched it to a bunch of people, builders and venture capitalists. So I added that too, because I felt like after I got level 3 there, I wasn't too, feeling too good about that. So I felt like that wasn't properly recognized. So that's what I did for the past 2 weeks, and then also a bit for what I did over the past 4 weeks as well. If anybody has any questions or comments for anybody, then feel free to share. Rosmari's laughing about something. Feel free. Also, one other thing I can mention too is that so a month or 2 ago, Tadas, Rosmari, and I had a discussion to start using the Fractalgram Telegram app that Tadas had built instead of the Fractalgram UI app that Abraham is building, because the Telegram app has been more stable. Over the past week or so, Abraham did share that he released a major update to Fractalgram where admins no longer need to select users, and there is some significant bug fixes into the sign-up flow and reauth as existing user flow. And then he asked he has to please record and let it know how it goes. So I suppose we can decide if we want to use the Telegram app as we had previously agreed, just for more stability, or being that just the 4 of us, we could also try out Abraham's app and see how it works out. And so let me know if you have a preference there, as well as if anybody has any questions or comments for each other regarding their contributions over from this event.
Like, I'm always concerned with the right process. So for me, the right process is to not test new versions in production environment. So yeah, I'm leaning towards having another meeting next week where we go through and test the new version that Abraham prepared in ORDAO Fractal, and then after we test it, if it works, we use it for Eden Fractal next event.
Okay, sounds good with me. I see that Rosmari also gave a thumbs up there. And I think that probably makes the most sense. And thumbs up from Sebastian too. So if Abraham, you're watching this, stay tuned. And he said he has a work meeting at this time too, so maybe he'd be able to join the ORDAO Fractal as well if you schedule it for a different time. Also, by the way, Tadas, I had mentioned it to you, but I had spoken and messaged back and forth with Jacob, and at some point, both Jacob and I agreed that it'd be good to do an ORDAO Fractal where we do a demo of the Superchain ORDAO app that Jacob had built, and we can go into more detail about that. So he said he'd let me know when he's available. So maybe not next week for that, but at some point soon we can do that, and we can just reach out to Jacob and see when the right time is for that.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever he's ready, I think Jacob has to be the most important, would be the most important person in that meeting. So I think whenever he's ready, we can schedule, try to schedule.
Yep, sounds good. And yeah, we also have to wait for, I know for some time the Superchain interop software wasn't fully released. I think that's actually under proposal to release it partially now. So we'll have to wait for the Optimism Superchain to actually bring it on chain as well, and like enable that software, because he was building that in like a test environment basically.
Well, or we could demonstrate it in his local test environment. Although, if it's going to be released soon, it might be a good checkpoint if we do it after. But anyway.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. We'll play by ear there, and then let us know, Tadas, when you want to schedule the next ORDAO Fractal. Looking forward to it. And then for now, Tadas, Rosmari, did you start setting up the Fractalgram Telegram app, or do you want me to do it?
It's in the chat.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Just join.
Okay, cool. Tadas, I'm curious to learn more about what you did and what you've been up to. Well, actually, first before I ask that, Rosmari just put out the prompt for everybody's Optimism account. So if you could please share your Optimism account there when you get the
By
chance.
the way, I think, isn't it 65th meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll change it. It's okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Just making sure that everything is okay with ORDAO, with the meeting number and ORDAO deployment.
Does it matter what is it like in Telegram?
No, what is it in Telegram does not matter, but the fact that it was in 64, it made me doubt. So it matters what it is in ORDAO.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, and then you asked me what I did.
Yeah, I was looking for more specificity or more details about you mentioned how you've been working and also, by the way, Sebastian, if you could please enter your Ethereum address as a reply when you get a chance, then we can start ranking. But yeah, I was just curious to learn more about the exact process that you're doing to wind down the ORDAO Office Hours, and you said how this would be potentially applicable and useful for other communities as well, in terms of like the kind of the ORDAO upgrade process, I guess. So I'm just curious to learn more about that. If there's anything that I missed, or just like I suppose what it entails.
What was that last thing? What did you say last?
I suppose what it entails, and I'm also curious too how big that is too, because I don't know how high to rank it.
What was the last thing again?
Sorry, I'm not speaking clearly, I guess. The last thing was I'm also curious too, how big of a contribution do you think that was? Because
No, it wasn't. It's not a big contribution compared to the past ones. I don't think I should be ranked highly.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, like I said in the beginning, I've been resting 2 weeks ago, and right now I'm dealing with a lot of other stuff in life, so I haven't been focusing that much last few weeks on practice.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. And then as far as this process, is that something that do you want to provide any more detail on that? Like you had to wind it down and then and then that's something that's going to be useful for other fractals as they want to switch to a new ORDAO, or
Yeah, so if fractals use our DAO upgrade process, where every few seasons or whatever we create a new deployment with new features, and if that's the way we upgrade the on-chain contracts, then we also have to wind down their off-chain services. So there is currently one backend process, Node.js process, which listens to blockchain events and stores them in the database and basically supports the front end. So yeah, if we use our DAO upgrade process, there will be many of these processes would have to be maintained and supported. So and there is no reason to keep running full ORDAO capabilities if Fractal is not using that deployment anymore. So this data can become immutable, and yeah, so I'm creating a mechanisms and doing that for ORDAO Office Hours right now, and this is basically prototype process that other fractals could reuse if we end up winding down their deployment.
okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying that. That's very good to know and very interesting.
Yeah, sounds really interesting.
Right? Tadas spreading the gospel of ORDAO, can I call it that? Is that a good name?
The gospel.
I think it sounds good. But yeah, it's good to have that education out there so we will better understand how ORDAO works. Wonderful software. Okay, so now we can rank who you think should be ranked level 6. So who do you think contributed most to the Superchain based on their presentations? And oops, I see there's already level 5 out there. It looks like I have consensus on level 6, so I think so. Appreciate it. And now we can rank level 5. Who do you think contributed second most to the Superchain based on their presentations this week?
Yeah, I haven't read your new research document then, but it looks good. Like it has a good structure. So yeah, and
I would need the link to it as well. I would like to read it. Didn't had the time yet.
Okay, well, great. Thanks for the feedback, and thanks for your interest in reading it too. I'll share the link in the Zoom chat now so you can check it out. And yeah, I'd be curious to hear any other feedback. I also shared I shared the Notion page with Tadas, but I can share the Notion page with you too, Sebastian, if you'd like to leave any comments
Sure.
on it.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, cool. I don't have your Notion email though. If you have a Notion kind of email, then I can.
Yeah, I will DM you on Telegram, I guess.
Okay, sounds great. And yes, I'm looking forward to that, Sebastian. I'll follow up with you then. I just showed the link to the last post, but if you scroll up 3 posts, then you can see the full thing, because I had to break it up into 3 posts, and you would also be very interested to hear your feedback on it too. And thanks also for the feedback on the prior one that helped me structure it better. As I said, in Eden Fractal, I added an abstract and some other things based on your feedback and guidance. So,
all right. Thanks. Okay, got it.
Rosmari gets level 5.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Sebastian rejoined Optimism Fractal for the first time. Let's give it.
Yes.
Are you advocating for giving the respect to Sebastian to us?
Yeah, And especially it's really valuable. New people who are willing to learn about fractals are really valuable. We have a fresh perspective and can give feedback on stuff, and yeah, we potential future long-term contributors. So I really think we should like award that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sebastian. Sounds good. And thanks to Tadas for being gracious and
Yeah.
your support for Sebastian. You convinced me. I was gonna vote for Tadas just because the foundation work with ORDAO, even though you haven't been working on it, is very, very important and essential. But I also really appreciate Sebastian's interest
I think so.
and support and everything. So happy to vote for Sebastian here too.
Like I said, I did not do much recently, so
Okay. Okay, so we can now submit the results here by clicking the here button, and encourage everyone to do that, to put it on chain, and then we'll all receive our respect. And hallelujah, for once we've actually ended the respect game early. We're getting better with our timeliness, I guess. So if we want, we could wrap it up early, or we could have an open conversation for the next 10 minutes. I didn't mention it, but you know, like last month, we passed that proposal to not automatically have an Optimum Town Hall. We would normally have an Optimum Town Hall event after each Optimum Fractal event, but when we passed the proposal, the council, the Optimum Fractal Council approved a proposal to only trigger Optimum Town Hall events if they receive 2,000 votes with respect votes by Monday at SMHDC, and there weren't any proposals on the Optimum Town Hall this week, so we won't have a Optimum Town Hall scheduled, but we could have a discussion for the next 10 minutes, or even go a bit longer if we want to. I'd be curious, maybe has any thoughts about the break schedule that I brought up in the beginning. I can reiterate that as well, or if anyone wants to just share anything on their mind in general related to Optimism Fractal, Superchain, Fractals, etc. I see Rosmari said, I'm going to go. Thanks to all you submitted. Thanks, Rosmari. Hope you have a great night. Thanks for submitting as well.
Yeah, I mean, we can discuss maybe, I don't know. I haven't really checked out Superchain yet. Is it, like how long around is the project? Is it also 3 years old by now, or?
Yeah, you can check out optimism.io, and
Right.
that's a good place to learn. That's probably the best place to learn about the Superchain. And I don't know exactly when it started. I believe it was like 2022, so it's about 3 years, but it was also prior to launching Optimism officially. The founders were working in the Ethereum ecosystem on, I believe, Plasma and other ways to scale Ethereum. And then, you know, the Superchain is also composed of a variety of different chains that have been around for varying amounts of times as well. They recently updated the website Optimum.io, where you can learn, so you can see like World and Base and so forth. So Base launched like maybe a year and a half ago. World has been in development for a few years, but it's also, I think, just officially launched like maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago. It's growing very fast. It has many millions of users. Also, Uniswap's been around since like 2020 or so, but they launched Unichain this year. So a whole bunch of chains here that have different times. But then, yeah, I suppose the easiest way to find out when Optimism started would be to go to check out their blog. And then if you go to the bottom, I think it's 2022, if I'm not mistaken, when the actual like token generation event was, and when like the Token House and Citizen House was officially launched. But I'll be able to confirm once I keep scrolling down, because they have like 50 posts or so. Yeah, the first post fitting the Ethers Phoenix in April 12th, 2022. So it's been about 3 years since Optimism Collective has been officially launched. But as I said, people have been building the kind of foundations and the foundational technology, which is the OP stack, for longer. I think for maybe a couple years before that as well.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Sebastian. Encourage you to.
Have you like tried out AI in any way, like to implement it in any way by I don't know, as a mechanism to not rank each other, but I don't know, just to send out emails or stuff like this? Because I was thinking about how AI might be able to also give perspectives on like especially if you look at data over time, how everything has evolved, and you might be able to make a cool app out of that. So I was kind of thinking, brainstorming a little bit about this kind of stuff. But I'm still learning every day because there's just so much material on it, and yeah.
Yep, good question. I'm learning a lot too. I see Tadas muted, so Tadas, go for it. Jump in if you want to respond, or I'm happy to respond otherwise as well.
No, I accidentally unmuted.
Okay, sounds good. I'm curious how much Tadas uses AI too. That's something I would like to ask you at some point. But I use AI a lot in my writing. I mean, AI has just become, this essential tool. So, for example, AI helps so much with like this research mission, for example, makes it much more able to do. I'll talk with AI for a long time and about work as well as all sorts of other things too. I use it pretty constantly throughout life in general, not constantly, but like every day. And then as far as the respect game, I think here in this research, I did curate a little bit about AI and how both fractals help us deal with society with more AI, and then also how we could have various AI integrations and so forth to help us make summaries of each episode, which we do to some extent right now, but there's some manual processes as well as AI production and stuff like that, and AI analytics. I know that we've done a couple episodes of Eden Fractal where we've talked about AI with fractals. One is, I believe, right around here. We talked with the team that Tadas introduces to called Dialexity and EF116, where they're using AI for better decision making, and also did an episode with Vlad, who has been planning to implement AI into the Respect.Games app, to improve the basically like curation of contributions and make it easier for people to understand and recognize contributions. So I think there's a huge design space of how we can use AI within fractals. Mostly right now, we've been using it for post-production and a lot of work. I know a lot of developers in the community also using AI to speed up their development process too. One other thing I'll mention too that is quite related, I think, is that Vitalik Buterin, founder of Ethereum, and Kevin Owocki, and a gentleman named Devon who works for the Ethereum Foundation, who I met at ETH Denver. They're working on this deepfunding.org, which is using AI to scale high quality human judgment. And the Optimism Collective is also working on similar things too with Futarchy, where basically it's using AI a lot with some human judges to better fund public goods. And I see a lot of synergies between this and respect games as well. And the person from the Ethereum Foundation, Devon, just spoke with him, and he also saw those as well. So I think there's a lot of potential to integrate AI with fractals and respect games, as well as just in the world. AI is pretty powerful technology, I'd say. So there's lots of ways that we can integrate and explore it. So
right. Yeah, makes sense.
Yep. Thanks for asking, Sebastian. Would be curious to learn more about how you're using AI, or your ideas as well, about fractals and how it could integrate it. We could wrap it up any moment now if we want to be very timely, and I'd be happy to do that. Happy to stick around a bit longer too and have a conversation. I don't know if Tadas, you want to add anything. Also, I suppose this other thing that I wrote too about the upcoming break. I mentioned this briefly at the beginning, but I've just been thinking it probably makes sense right now because Optimism Fractal is one event ahead of Eden Fractal right now. And so I know we received some feedback that a 2-event break was too long from a couple community members, but I was thinking that that might be best if we have a 1-event break for Eden Fractal and a 2-event break for Optimism Fractal, which would mean that Optimism Fractal would take like basically a month off, and Eden Fractal would take I suppose 2 weeks off, or basically they only happen every 2 weeks though, so it's taking 1 event off or 2 events off. So I'm thinking of making a proposal for this as I think that I know Easy was also aiming to do an impact concert, and he reached out to me. So I think maybe if we could schedule I was thinking of doing a Fractal DJ at Impact Concert, that maybe he could take the lead in organizing, and then we can have it where Optimism Fractal and Eden Fractal would be in sync. Because right now, Optimism Fractal is heading into it just had its 5th event of the season, but Eden Fractal had its 3rd event of the season, and it's going to have its 4th event of the season next week. So if we were to take 2 weeks off or 2 events off from Optimism Fractal and 1 event off from Eden Fractal, and then it would allow Eden Fractal to catch up and be on the same schedule as far as the seasonal schedule. And then in general, I think that might be just helpful to have some time to like the break was really helpful, and having a bit of break time might be helpful too. So but I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts about that, if you have any thoughts about that. And also we can wrap it up too. Tadas, I don't know if you wanted to comment on the AI stuff, or Sebastian, you had anything else you want to share, or Tadas, anything else your mind, or if you have any idea about the upcoming break, if you agree, if you disagree, if you have any other thoughts. But I suppose I'll just aim to share a proposal in the coming week or so about the upcoming break and what I think is best. I'm curious everybody's thoughts.
So people said that someone said that 2-event break is too long.
Yeah, well, after the I suppose that was the spring break, where we took a 2-event break from both Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal, and we had a total of like I think 6 weeks off between both of them from events. At the end of one of the events, Zal and Will had both said that they felt like it was too long that we were apart as a community. And so that was the feedback we received. Before scheduling the 2-event break, I proposed it, nobody had an issue with it, but then they both said that like it was basically a long time and they felt like it was too long. So this would be somewhat similar. I was planning to do a 1-event break for each of them, but this would be a 2-event break for Optimism Fractal and a 1-event break for Eden Fractal. And then also if we could do an impact concert with Easy Crypto to still have a community event at that time. That's my thinking about how we could still provide the community with a space while also putting them both in sync, and also having time to focus on other things as well.
Generally, I think like two event breaks between seasons and 1 event break mid-season makes sense for me. But yeah, I see why you want to sync up Optimism Fractal events with Eden Fractal. Although generally I think like it will probably be hard to keep them in sync all the time. In general, I think fractals should allow themselves to have independent schedules, but I see that if there are a lot of same people in both fractals, so it's really helpful to have some time apart from all fractals for us. So I don't know, for me that I'm not against this proposal.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. Thanks for the feedback. And yeah, I'll also share real quick too. I can share this in the proposal, but AI, I did a chat with oops, it looks like it's not coming up now. So yeah, and there's more details here, basically how it would potentially look. So I can share this in the proposal, but I was trying to draft out like the end of season 6 and also going into season 7. There's also some things to think about too, like because I was also thinking about a 2-event break after the season and a 1-event break during mid-season. But for one thing, when we come back, actually, either way, it's going to be right around the holiday season. Like we'll be returning from these events sometime around Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. They're all on Thursdays. And another thought I had that AI recommended was that if we did just take a 3-event winter break at the end of the season, then we can make it so it starts on either January 1st or January 8th, and then it would be like a clean break. But that might be too long for the community as well. I generally feel like we've had a lot of just a lot of community events, and we've been decreasing the amount of community events, which I think has been a good move. But I don't want to go too far in decreasing it. But also a lot of sports leagues and stuff don't do it like every week, and they take longer breaks and stuff. So something to consider both in terms of this break coming up and also the longer break for the end of season. I think we'll do at least 2 events, but if we do 2 events break then, and maybe we should even do shorter because we received feedback from Zal and Will, but when they brought that up, I think it's also a matter of balancing like what the community wants with what we're able to give as well. And I think for a while it was just kind of like unsustainable to do so many events. So I don't know. I just figured I'd put some more information here. Curious to hear if you have any feedback about that. I know there's kind of a lot of information at once, but I can also just craft a page or proposal that puts this together in more neatly and stuff like that, so you can think it over and then comment on Notion and stuff like that if you'd like. Do you have any more thoughts on this, Tadas, or?
No, not now.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, in that case, Sebastian and Tadas, do you have any other thoughts in general about anything, or should we wrap it up now?
Yeah, I would like to go soon, so I'm ready to wrap up.
Right. Yeah, I'm fine with that as well.
Okay, sounds good. Well, it's been a fun time with you, and thanks to everybody for watching, everybody out there watching, and thanks Sebastian and Tadas, and also Rosmari for being here with us. It was awesome playing the Respect game with you, and look forward to seeing you at our next events. If you go to the Optimystics event calendar, you'll see that next week on Thursday, July 17th, we have Eden Fractal event, followed by Eden Town Hall event. And then on, I believe, the 24th, we'll have our last Optimism Fractal event of the season in 2 weeks. No, that's a mistake, of the first half of the season. And then we'll have a mid-season break. And stay tuned for details about thoughts about the lengths, the breaks, and return dates and so forth. So thanks again, everybody, for being here. We'll end it. If everybody's up for it, we'll build 3, 2, 1, go Optimism Fractal. That sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, go.
Optimism Fractal.
All right.
Yeah.
And see you next time.
See you next time.